Sorry.
Linebacker coach, how do you think that? Could you just update the linebacker position where things stand right now, especially with some guys being limited?
Yeah, we right now we're playing with about 4 or 5 guys now because AC went down with the hand deal, but he'll be back in a couple of weeks. Then we had a couple of growing deals and hamstrings, so it's limited some guys. But Power's been in there every day. Caleb Lavalle's having a good camp. Cade's having a good camp. And then we're trying to get our younger guys just to start to mature a lot faster between the proven young man and the ever-been kid. We just got to get them to mature, but they're getting valuable reps right now because of the older guys are out for a couple of days. So we're getting a chance to evaluate them and getting a chance to see can they help us down the line.
You said a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
He'll be back from Minnesota?
Who you talking about?
Amari?
I hope so. Yeah. And hopefully, that he won't have. We'll do the same thing we did with Chaz Surratt. If you remember, Chaz had the big cast in his hand. He's tough, so he'll be back. A couple of weeks being this week, next week. Hopefully by game time to be ready.
How was he coming along before the injury? Was he really establishing himself as that guy?
He's the guy. He's tough, and he's probably one of the most cerebral. He kind of reminds me of the Jeremiah Gemmel young man that we had, just super smart, football savvy, super tough, knows football, and really coming into his own. So had a little setback, but he plays the game in his mind a lot. So he's in tune, asks a bunch of questions in the film room. So for him, even though he's not on the field, he's playing the game as mentally as anybody.
Which one of the younger guys, a couple of younger guys that stood out?
Yeah, Caleb Lavalle and Caleb Lavalle and Cade Long doing a really good job. Because we're looking for who can relieve Power when Power gets tired, and who can take some of those reps off him. And so it's a good battle between those two right now. And then even at the Mike position, we got Michael Short, and then we also have we got Mike. And then we got Ashton Woods, who's a young guy for us. And both of those young guys are competing. Everybody wants to play. Hopefully we can be at least 2 deep, and that's been the coach's theme for this year is, last year we played, Sid and Power a whole game. This year trying to take some of those reps off those guys so we can have, fresh bodies by the end of the season.
Have you seen Power step into more of a leadership role this season?
Power is fantastic. I mean, he's always been that guy for us. He's every day Power comes out here and he's gonna give you 110%. He's not gonna be the vocal guy off the football field or on the football field. This is his domain. So when he's out here, the guys rally about him because the way he practices, the way he carries himself like a pro.
And just really quick follow-up on that. You were talking to Jeff Collins, and he said that sometimes at the end of defensive meetings, he'll just hand it over to Power and he'll talk to the group. What are some of the things that he's saying?
Well, Power is he's a perfectionist. And he's one of those guys that, as a coach, you get a young man like him probably every 10 years, and you never take it for granted. He has his routine, and you ask players, get your routine. So if you ever walk in the building, there's a meeting that started at 6:30. If you come in the building at 5:45, there's a young man in the corner meditating by himself with nobody around. That's Power Echols. You come out here before practice, you're going to see him out there stretching before everybody can get out here. And then it's just, and you go take it to the meeting room, and he's talking like he's a 5th, 6th-year pro. So just the way he carries himself, and I think he sets a standard where he wants everybody to be great, and he pushes. I know as far as our room, he wants everybody to have that same kind of standard, that same kind of love, and same kind of compassion about the game. So him being in the room, it elevates everybody's game.
Thig, to your point about trying to be deeper, I mean, it's been like the movie Groundhog Day, with the offseason. Max says we need to play more guys, and then you don't play more guys. We need to play more guys. I mean, it's like it's like a carousel. How can you make yourself do that this year? Because, I mean, it seems like it has to be done. More guys need to play.
Yeah, I mean, and part of that is right here where we're at right now on the practice field and getting the coach's trust. And you'll keep hearing Coach say that a lot, is gain our trust and you'll play. Yeah, but when it comes to a game, it's not going to be 50-50. It's not going to be that at all. It's going to be, this is Power Echo show. It can be a Amari show. But if guys can come in and take 10 or 15 reps off those guys in a 70 or 80 play duration of a game, that'll be great for us. But yeah, I get it. You want guys to be able to go in and play some. And that way it keeps guys, fresh, and it keeps them also aware and alert and into the game, and they know they're going to get a chance to play and help our football team. And then what you also don't want is a guy, all of a sudden he gets hurt, and then they're thrown into the fire with no reps at all. So coach is right. Getting some guys in there early, get them a chance to go in there and place and get some reps underneath the belt and get that experience that they're going to need for the duration of the season.
Do you think that trust just hasn't been there in past years in terms of getting more guys in?
No, it's just the fact that, I'm not just speaking for my position. I'm not speaking for anybody else's position. I have two guys that were just in superior shape than anybody, and they love being in the game. So for me, I mean, you play until you get tired. And if you raise your hand, you get tired, and I bring you out. That was my old philosophy. And I was fortunate enough where I had linebackers that never got tired. And this year it may be a different deal. Power, if we can get Power to play at 110% or 100% of a game at full tilt, that'll be great. And I think if we take 15 snaps off of him, we can get that kind of excitement and that kind of energy from Power for a whole game.
Did you sense him wearing down a little bit last year near the end of the season?
No.
All those snaps.
I mean, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. I mean, you watch Power from first quarter, fourth quarter. He never gets tired. Said never got tired.
You mentioned Caleb a few minutes ago. We're going to talk.
Molly.
Yeah, we're going to talk to him in a few minutes. What is he doing now that's got him in position where we're going to talk to him and he's probably going to see the field?
The game has slowed down for him. As a freshman, everybody swims because you got so many calls, so many fits. Footwork's different. And so, you throw all those calls on him. It's an old saying, you can't tell the difference between a scared player and a confused player look the same. He's not confused anymore. So now you're able to see, his athleticism, his power, his punch. And now his alignments are right, his footwork is right. So he's getting there. He's starting to remind me of the Gimmels and the Powers and the Said. He now looks like a Carolina linebacker, the ones that we've had in the past. So, for him, the game is, even though he's a second-year player, really a freshman for us, he's moving around like he's been around here for about 2 or 3 years now.
Have you seen this coming with him for a while, or has this been something where he just exploded here in fall camp?
No, it's coming because he loves the game. So again, you got a guy like Parker in the room that sets the standard, and that standard is to be perfection on the football field, and he demands it. So when you walk in the room, everybody in the room has to speak that language, and you got to be able to talk the game. And so now they call Caleb his little Power. He's his little brother. That's what they call him. And so Caleb knows that Power has set a standard in that room. And so for him, if he goes in the game, it can't be any drop-off. And he knows it because Power is right there with him and watching him and coaching him every day in practice. So his game is coming along. He's not arrived yet, but we're very pleased with him and Cade on where they're going.
So, I mean, from your perspective, looking at it, live in real time, looking at it in film, whatever, how different does this defense look kind of, compared to last year? One thing that a lot of the guys would say, they feel like they can play more free. How different does it look?
Well, it's still a lot of rules. You still got rules, So, no, it's not see-ball, hit ball. It's not sandlot football by no stretch. But these guys are playing fast. I mean, it's kind of a combination between, the coverage part that they knew what Chiz did because he was more coverage. And then if you remember Jay Bateman had so many blitzes that were coming from all over the place. And those are all rule-based as well. And the good thing about our kids is they just drop them in the buckets, man. So they're playing extremely fast and it's very well detailed on where they're supposed to be, how they're supposed to fit plays, their alignments, all that. So, yeah, they're having fun because it's causing a lot of chaos. There's no sitting around and, the 3 technique is a 3 technique. No, that guy could be anywhere. And so it's systematic, and there's a system behind it, and there's rules behind it, and the guys are playing fast because they understand exactly why he's calling it, what situation he's putting it in. And I think that's the good part about where the kids are at now. They see a formation, they see it down in distance, they're kind of getting into the coordinator's head, and that's the first time I've seen our young players actually understand why the coordinator is actually calling things in what situation they're in. So he's done a great job of getting the kids to understand why he's calling situational football and situational calls for our defense.
What are the responsibilities for a linebacker in this system? Like, what are the main bullet points?
There's another 10 minutes.
What are the main bullet points?
For every call, there's an adjustment from a 3x1 to 2x2 to empty to X over, unbalanced. It just goes on and on and on. And so in those rules, man, one call may have 10 different adjustments. And that linebacker has to know all adjustments. So for us, again, it's a lot for us, and if the more cerebral that linebacker is, the more smart he is, the easier it is for him to get on the football field. Long gone are the days of the see ball, hit ball, tackle ball. That's over with. You got to have smart and tough linebackers today in the game. The way they play football today, it's not 1 or 2 calls. It may be 15, 20 calls in the game, and each one of those calls has adjustments. And for you to walk out there, you have to know what you're doing, because if you misfit a play, it could be an explosive play. And so for our guys, I mean, our linebacker creed, tough and smart.
It's a good end.
Appreciate you.